Good evening, vampires, werewolves, and all other nocturnal beings. Welcome to Tiddies By Night, a Vampire the Masquerade actual play run entirely by creatures of marginalized genders. And presented by Tabletop Tiddies. My name is Kelly, my pronouns are they, them, and I will be your storyteller for tonight. But before we get into the episode, we want to acknowledge the colonial history of Canada and how Canada has and continues to take from Indigenous people. The effects of colonization are still felt to this day, and we acknowledge that this episode is being recorded on the stolen land of the Secwepemc, Semiahmoo, Katzie, Kwantlen, Musqueam, Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, and Coast Salish First Nations. If you would like more information about the effects of colonization and to support some Indigenous charities and organizations, you can go to the resources page on our website at tabletoptiddies.com/resources. With me, I am joined by the investigators of the occult and unusual.
Hi, it's me. Hi, my name is Emily Matchette. My pronouns are she, her. And I play Imogen White, the Salubri, whose pronouns are also she, her.
Character overlays are still messed up, so I'm not going to show them again.
Oh, no.
It's all good.
Hi, everyone. I'm Charlene Bear. My pronouns are she, her. I play Octavia Smith, the Tremere, whose pronouns are also she, her.
Hello, everybody. My name is Rachel Theilade. My pronouns are she, her, and I am playing Evelyn Stormloft, the Nosferatu, whose pronouns are also she, her.
And we have a special guest tonight.
Special guest.
Woo, 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 woo.
Hi, friends. I'm back. I'm Dot. She, her, my pronouns. I'm back as Olive, the very upset Toreador, who also uses she, her pronouns.
Emily, I think it's you again.
It's me, Sirenscape.
Oh.
We use Sirenscape in our streams to help make our streams more atmospheric. They're free to use and also very easy to use. They have whole different playlists that you can go through, or you can build your own sounds. Check them out at sirenscape.com.
And last but certainly not least, it is time for our Twitch shout-out of the evening. Today's shout-out goes to Vorpaltales. Vorpaltales started as a group of super awesome friends for life who wanted an excuse to play tabletop RPGs on a regular basis, but it soon became much more than that. Vorpaltales offers a trip through the looking glass into worlds of awesome adventures and terrifying tales. Just about every system finds its home with them. Their passion extends beyond live plays and includes supplement publishing, freelance tabletop RPG writing, demoing Kickstarters, weekly podcasts, and so much more. Vorpaltales is made up of many backgrounds, cultures, wow, words, hi, orientations, and individuals who love to take a personal interest in the well-being of their society. They love to give back and not only donate to charity, but champion other communities who share their same ideals. Come check them out and meet some amazing humans that make up Vorpaltales at twitch.tv/Vorpaltales or on their YouTube at youtube.com/c/Vorpaltales. Or their website at vorpaltales.com. They are lovely human beings, and I highly recommend checking them out.
Yay.
Woohoo!
Yay.
In case people can't tell from our reads, it is incredibly hot, and we are all just slowly melting.
Yeah.
So possible trigger warnings for this episode as we are still at the party. Possible scenes of violence, gore, cannibalism, manipulation, and lack of empathy for human life. You know, just the classic vampire stuff.
That's
so if
vampy, yeah.
any of that affects you, feel free to skip this episode and come back for our next chapter.
Woo.
Anyways, last time on Tiddies By Night, left to their own devices, the investigators of the occult and unusual spread out into the ongoing party at the Lee estate. Imogen, after receiving praise from the Malkavian Primogen, rushed out to the veranda for some fresh air. Octavia found Sky and talked up the home as a potential new Elysium. And Evelyn did what she does best: snoop, look for dirt, and leave threatening letters for the hosts to find.
Spoilers for Dot.
Imogen soon realized she was being watched by the man who praised her, and another person who was later revealed to be Baron Snyder, a strange individual living in the delusion of the Malkavian. Evelyn continued her search for information and found a few surprising scenes. One room which held a fellow Nosferatu, Tanita Landry, doing her own snooping, and another room with two kindred who'd been attacked by supposed inquisitors. Meanwhile, Imogen, Octavia, the Malkavian Promisian, and Baron Snyder all participated in a ritual to prove the value of the IOU. Octavia accidentally slipped into the Malkavian web, where she improvised some eerie premonitions that seemed to convince the target that he was in danger and needed their help. The coterie reconvened at the entry hall, and they were instructed by one of the Lee staff members that they were urgently needed. For some reason, I'm having trouble playing Sirenscape right now, and I'm going to try to fix that real quick. But I'll leave you guys in the scene. So you just had one of the various helpers around the estate come up to you and very hurriedly inform you that the Lady Lees need your help. And you are being rushed through the estate. So what are y'all? You guys can have a little moment to talk and stuff. And
I'll immediately, Prophet at my side. I'll try and like feel the vibe of my fellow coterie members of, is this where we're going? Because we just
got some
information. Yeah.
I mean, it might be something we want to tell the Lees since it's their house, their party. So I'm fine with going along for the ride. I've thrown the sword out in the garden, so I'll be picking that up later. I think you can tell from looking or like sensing my vibe that
we're good
along
to go
for the ride right now, but I am on edge.
Yeah. Imogen, are you ready?
Yes, I think so. do you think she'll be upset with me?
Oh, she's probably forgotten by now. It's fine.
Toreadors classically don't.
Toreadors never forget. They're like a cancer. A cancer never forgets.
So you, as the lot of you are being led through the party, you notice that it's gotten a bit rowdy. Several of the guests have abandoned their humans to rest on couches as they've been drained of most of their blood. You pass by the bar, which is now just like a thin layer of vitae along the floor has made it a bit sticky, and it's just starting to like smell like a vampire party in here. More of the upper class and sophisticated clans are kind of keeping it together and avoiding the rabble. But as this was a kind of get-to-know-you event, a few of the more connected Brujah and gangrels and whatnot have begun to make a mess, which a lot of the upper class have just found kind of amusing, as it is not their place, and it's fun to watch Brujah and gangrel have a fun time.
Dangerous as well.
Yeah.
Also, as we're walking, I also accidentally had a full-on conversation with the Keeper of Elysium. So I tried to spin the conversation in a positive light of this lovely building, hoping to get in the Lee's good graces.
Well, that's very good of you. I did happen to hear some information on them too, and I'm hoping to perhaps use it as leverage. I left them a parting gift in their bedroom, but that's neither here nor there. We will find out about it later on, I'm sure. I'm sure there are more important matters to deal with right now, like the news I told you about not that long ago.
Evelyn, you would notice the hallway that you are being led into is actually the one that was adjoined to the lobby, or the study that you had found Tanita in.
Oh, okay.
And you see that the servant kind of like goes up to a unlit candle on the wall and sort of like slides it to the side, and you see a passageway kind of open at the end of the hallway, and he sort of like gestures you in.
Clever. And I follow.
As you do, you are led down probably what appears to be like the oldest version of this house. It seems that this was part of the original established building, and the upper area has been fully renovated and reestablished, as this is kind of like carved stone leading down to a basement. You see several candles and lighting the path down, and you smell just, again, that like lovely aroma of like well accompanied vitae with like just a nice, almost savory smell to it. And as you are led down, you are it opens up into this like well-decorated, almost like those with like several pillows and carpets and whatnot, and a sort of like lounge area that has been like beautifully decorated as to what this used to be like an old creepy basement is now just like the most luxurious and comforting location that you have ever seen. And sitting on a lounge couch, now fully awake, sort of being flanked by her wife Melinda, is Olive Lee.
I'm standing behind Imogen because I'm assuming she's the one who's going to want to be addressed first. So I'm just like, I kind of nudge her. I'm like, go ahead.
I don't say anything. I'm very, very nervous here.
Who all is actually here? Are they all here?
Yeah, so it's Imogen, Evelyn, Octavia, Prophet, and your servant. Off to the side, there's also another one of your servants that is sort of exhausted now after Melinda had refilled her hunger after feeding you.
You four stay. You three go. She kind of points to all of the servants to like skitter. Get out of here.
They all gesture away, and Melinda says, dear, would you like me to stay or tend to the guests?
You must stay. You are now part of this plan.
Of course. And she kind of like looks up at the lot of you, and you kind of feel as if Melinda is not threatening, but almost like intimidating, and you get a sense that she is putting on a discipline to be a little bit more intimidating to the rest of you.
Okay.
Well, call me tickled. Please fill us in. What plan are we speaking of?
Did you enjoy the party?
I must say, I'm having a bit of trouble hearing you, Olive. There seems to be some crackling. Perhaps we should be right back.
I'll be right back, y'all. Rocket your accessories to new heights with nerdy and gay Vancouver-based Rocketman props. Their enamel and laser-cut wooden pins and waterproof coasters come in all your favorite franchises. Their enamel potion pins will make sure that you always have that health potion on you when you need it, and you're gonna need it. Worry not, though. Any order over $35 ships free to Canada and the US. Plus, if you use the promo code Tiddies with double D's, you can get 20% off their store at rocketmanprops.com. That's rocketmanprops.com to save the day.
Create a sweeter day in a traditional way with Wabanaki maple syrup. Long before sugar came with the fur trade, the indigenous peoples of the First Nations harvested the savory sap from the maple trees of Canada. The tales of this savory sap with a sweet and woody flavor traveled the world, and so came the name maple syrup. The tradition was passed from generation to generation, and as the maple moon rose each spring, the harvest of nature's rich tree sap began. Today, Wabanaki Maple Syrup has created a twist on a traditional culture with their signature line of barrel-aged maple syrup products of bourbon, whiskey, and toasted oak. Proudly 100% Indigenous female-owned and located on Nugukuk Tobique First Nation, Wabanaki Maple is proud to introduce you to this tradition that's shared by many peoples of the Wabanaki Confederacy. Discover a piece of history and taste our land's cultural fabric in every bottle at wabanaki.com. That's WABANAKI maple.com.
We fixed it. It's all good.
All right. And Olive turns and says, "Did you enjoy the party?"
Well, it's always interesting when the host has to make a quick exit, but I had a lovely time so far.
Yes, I've had an absolutely lovely time. You have a lovely home.
I, in fact, had an excellent conversation with Sky. Sky, what was their last name? Sky Vasquez. I took the liberty of giving them a tour of your lovely, lovely home and pointed out some highlights that I thought would make it the perfect Elysium.
I mean, that's good to hear that someone was making a good impression for the keeper, and kind of like stares at Imogen for a moment.
I look down, like, so embarrassed.
And you, Evelyn?
Yes, it was very enlightening. I had a lovely time. I have some news you might be interested to hear. It is for your own well-being. I would be very concerned if inquisitors were running around my house, trying to murder. But yes, I do not know if they are here any longer, but I thought you should know that somebody has tried to crash your party. More than one, it seems.
Melinda kind of bends over to you, Olive, and says, Nosferatu slander, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure you should check your upstairs rooms. I'm sure there's nothing wrong there, then.
She kind of, like, eyes you and, like, narrows her sight at you.
Well, of course, that Inquisitor's sword that I threw out into the garden so that I could take it home and investigate it myself would be not there at all. I lean back. I'm sure there's a wall somewhere. I just go and sit and like lean back on it.
Regardless of whether or not that is true. I have a favor to ask of all of you.
Of course.
Anything for our new friends.
Since the performance did not go as planned, we're going to try again.
Oh my. Imogen, I'm sure you'll do better the second time round.
I must say, you have piqued my interest.
Maybe you could hum it for me first a couple of times before I play it.
I mean, she did tell you she doesn't read music very well. She is quite the... She picks a lot of things up by ear.
I will tutor you to assure that you are significantly more successful this time. But do not fret, they will not think it is you who is playing.
Who will they think it is?
Well, only the most talented. And she looks up at her wife.
Kind of like flourishes and does like a very passive-aggressive curtsy.
My plan was to try to bring in a new up-and-coming artist, but it seems that sometimes the old ways are just the best. My wife can perform her way through anything. She will fake a violin solo in front of a screen. Imogen will perform behind it.
Well, at least then you have less pressure of being in front of an audience.
Yes.
What do you think, Imogen? I don't want to make you feel pressured just from us talking. It's up to you.
I mean, I can give it another go, but it makes me a little bit nervous, but I can give it a try, of course.
We'll have the best tutor.
Don't think you understand. This was not an option.
Well, everything in life and the afterlife is an option.
It's true. I hope you make the right choice.
I mean, perhaps the other option is final death, but still an option nonetheless.
Oh. They're so young. You think death is the worst thing that can become you.
I mean, I've already agreed to do it, so I don't know why we're talking about all these scary things.
I will reiterate the importance of this going well. I appreciate all of your attempts at patching the problem.
I mean, I did more than patch. I'll have you know that they left shaking in their boots due to the amount of willpower damage I'm sure I did to their soul.
I'm sure you did incredible, but the reputation of my wife is that she has an eye for talent, and you misunderstand how damaging this could be to her. I'm sure, great attempts, but a discretion, or a slight nonetheless. This will be a way of you making it up to her. And if it means that the star of the show shines brighter for my wife to keep her reputation, then it's something I'm sure you will be glad to do. And you will leave tonight knowing that nobody will have any ill will towards you going forward.
Well, and I mean no offense by this, but I'm sure she does have an eye for talent, but if you ask, like I said, I'm not that good at reading music, so I'm if it wasn't reading music, maybe I would have done a better job.
No, Imogen, I'm sure there was just a misunderstanding. They just had a very large amount of confidence in you. I don't blame them. We all do as well. We are your friends, and we know that we don't want to put that much pressure on you. But this time will be different, I'm sure.
You also don't rely on disciplines and other magics to ensure that you perform at top tier, so there's always that risk when you're doing it live and for real.
But when you do it well, oh my, you are wonderful.
I assure you that I didn't make it here post-mortem. Being at the top and becoming a Toreador can only help you.
Well, it's a time for a show.
Oh, no. No. There's practice to be had. Believe me.
Yes.
Imogen and I are going to become great friends. Since you can't read the music after all, I must teach it to you.
Sure, that sounds like a great idea.
Wonderful.
Well, shall we leave you to practice then? Or is there something
no.
else you would have us do?
No. Oh, we are not done.
Okay.
Would you all like to have a seat?
Of course.
Yeah, I sit.
Yeah.
For
All the comfiest seats.
what my wife says is true. I would be remiss if I did not tell you, Imogen, that I do have an eye for talent. And since I need you to succeed this time, I'm going to tell you, I'm never wrong about who I choose to do what. A little confidence would look good on you.
I told you that I couldn't read music, though, so I'm just a little bit confused about...
Isn't there a phrase that they say in the showbiz? It's on the tip of my... Fake it until you make it. Perhaps that's what Olive is speaking of.
Understood. Sorry.
The two of you are rather ambitious
Oh,
in your
thank
own
you.
rights.
You're not wrong.
That being said, when this is all done and you have all successfully solved this problem, I owe you nothing. So instead, I'm going to drop the veil of hospitality and do a little business with you.
Well, we are a business, so... What is it you had in mind?
Each of you have made it very clear you're striving for something. We have the capability of giving it to you in the long term, ensuring you have the seats you want, and the information you'd like, and the fame you desire.
Go on.
But business such as that requires that all of you do something for us.
Well, I
And
believe
since
I
you've-
already did you an immense favor when you went into torpor, and I still convinced the Keeper of Elysium that this was, in fact, the place it needed to be. You dropped basically dead in front of us due to shame, and I completed your job for you.
I wore your shame, as a badge at my party. Your
That's not what
tour
everyone
of
else
my
said.
house. Your tour of my house does not make up for the fact that all of you failed.
I did save some statues for you.
Perhaps we don't speak about that.
So, I imagine at this point, everybody has had their fill. There is a mess that needs cleaning. Surprise, surprise. And they may just be tired enough to accept my apologies.
I say it very quietly. I'm just kind of like, I think I still have my mask on, so you can't really see my expression. But it's like the stillest I have been in the entire evening. Just like very, very composed.
And since my little ritual did not go off as planned, and I am not going to gain the power that I deserve, when I help all of you reach whatever achievements your heart desires, you will use your power to assure that I get what I want.
I feel like I perhaps got off on the wrong foot here. Was
Was that before or after you insulted me?
Well, I mean, let's be clear, I'm always honest in my opinions and values, so. But that does not remove the fact that we, I believe, are going to be quite good friends. And I do mean that with sincerity. And friends always use their abilities, their power, their resources, their connections to help each other out. And I have every intention of doing so, as I already have done this evening, to continue.
I'm sorry, I forgot to wear my pearls so I cannot clutch them. Let me share something with you. We're kindred. At some point, you have no friends. If you want to be at the top, you'll learn that the king only has followers. Where do you stand? You are not my friend. I am not your friend. I am the host of this party. And I'm willing to do business with you because all of you, for whatever reason, continue to try so very hard. And that intrigues me. And I still, for whatever reason, believe Imogen is capable of a lot more than she believes.
And let's not pretend that the favor you did for us did not come at some sort of reward to yourself. The party that you are at houses...
The party that you so desperately tried to get us to come to.
Yes.
Continue.
As my wife has so lovingly said, the king only has followers, and the king makes requests of a lot of people. But the party that you currently reside in has several well-off kindred in high places that you have so quickly rubbed shoulders with. You got something out of this party, and we're simply asking for something in return.
Imogen puts her hand up a little bit.
Y'all talk at the same time. Whoops.
Imogen's like, I think I'd like to state, for the record, that I think I'd much rather have friends. That's it.
You'll always have us, of course.
Well,
But perhaps when we become this old, we'll be this pretentious as well. I don't know. Maybe it's a Toreador thing. But anyways, business. Let's do it. Make a deal.
I guess I am probably doing us a disservice if I don't offer them at least another option, yes? Let's see. You can help me, or you can take a life boon. All of you. One for each, I think. Suited. And you can walk out of here tonight having bumped elbows with the most important kindred, which, of course, I did not drag you into.
I did already agree to play the song.
My dear Imogen, you
So-
continue to impress me. Hmm?
Why, I
Thank
don't
you.
think what you're asking is not fair. We did indeed rub elbows with quite a lot of important kindred tonight. I think it's only fair.
Melinda's
Well
going
done,
to
Imogen.
walk over to you, Imogen, and kind of like kneel down, still keeping a height over you, and kind of like put her hand like very carefully on your cheek and says, "You're gonna go places, my dear. You're gonna have several friends, and you're
I want to sense the unseen while she's talking.
Okay. Give me... You can go ahead and roll with that. You're going to have a lovely time, and you're going to have several friends. But you're going to come to learn that some kindred are doomed more than others. And as sweet and as loving as you are, if you don't find out which ones those are, you might just be dragged down with them. And she kind of like taps your cheek a little bit and then stands back up.
I thought she was going to say you'd be eaten.
Well, I like to leave some hope for the new ones.
Even when they're that tasty.
I'm an optimist, what can I say?
That's why I love you.
4 successes.
You remind me, what is it that you're looking for again?
I'm trying to see if any powers that I would recognize have been activated. If anyone is in the room that stayed when they were all told to leave.
Melinda definitely has Daunt up right now.
Yeah.
Olive, do you have anything up?
No. I'm right now I am just pure olive.
Yeah, you can but you can sense some hostility, but kind of just like lingering hostility. Nothing that's like they're not immediately going to attack you, but
Yeah.
definitely are. Melinda at least feels like she's a bit on the defensive, like protecting Olive to some degree. But yeah, that's what you get. That's what you get.
So next steps, as
I need
you
to change
begin to
clothes.
practice.
That's next steps. And she kind of stands. I can't be seen in the same outfit twice. Imogen, teach her how to hold a violin convincingly, please.
Oh, of course.
When she's done, I'll hum the music to you until you learn it.
Sure thing.
I can have someone fetch your a bass, my love.
I guess. I'm bored already.
And she's going to produce a violin from this room already. It seems as if this plan was set in place. And she kind of holds it, but you can tell, Imogen, that this is a singer trying to pretend that they know how to hold a violin.
Fake it till you make it, darling.
See, I knew it.
And you are you releasing the other two to their devices, Olive?
I'm not moving until you say I am dismissed, because I am respectful.
What are the two of you going to go do while your friend here, makes my wife more famous?
By all means, give us a task. If we are all performing a favor, I want you to get your full use of it.
Oh, you don't understand. You don't learn anything from someone by sending them on a task. You learn something about the choices they make on their own. So my question to you was, what are you going to do?
I get up and walk out.
Prophet
I'll
just sort of
follow.
trots after you.
I stop at the doorway, and I turn back. Oh, by the way, your master bedroom is absolutely exquisite. And I walk out.
We'll be keeping tabs on you.
I wouldn't expect anything else.
And you leave the way that you came. At the top of the stairs, the person who had brought you here is still sort of standing there and just gestures you out. And you are free to rejoin the party as the frivolity and let's say, chaos is still going on. In the meantime, Imogen, you are left with Melinda as Olive has gone to change. You can see, similar to the IOU, the basement here kind of branches off into other dungeons. Again, far less creepy than yours and much cleaner. And give me a wits and insight, Imogen. Real quick. Also, I forgot to mention again that Evelyn, because of the incredible letter you left and all of the snooping and information gathering that you got, you gained 3 willpower back from your superficial damage.
Thank God.
And and Imogen, because you helped clean up the mess that the Malkavian provision made, you can get 1 willpower back.
Thank you for that.
For living your truths as...
I got 4 successes.
Okay. You can tell that Melinda is trying to pretend that she cares about you more than she actually does. She's doing that sort of thing where it's like she's being very like, oh, you're so cute, and like, oh, I'm so sad for you, but is clearly just doing it so that you'll continue to help her, and is actually very upset about the situation that has happened tonight.
Well, now here's the thing. So I had 2 older siblings and 3 younger ones, so you're not getting anything past me, and I'm a very good teacher.
Well, I'm glad. I haven't known my siblings for some time, and to be honest, it's you're like a younger sister already. And she kind of like smiles, this like clearly well-trained but fake grin. So please, I am at your whim. And she kind of like is trying to move as you're showing her. Now, I'm going to have to mimic what you're doing quite closely. I am not sure how to do that.
Okay, Emily speaking as someone who knows music. I wouldn't know how to teach her how to fake it because I don't know the song yet.
I think what she's asking is like how to make it look like she's doing like string fingering and bow movements properly, so that it doesn't just look like she's an actor who was. I'll
teach her like a few basic things, but it's probably like Phoebe trying to teach Joey the guitar. Like everything has the wrong name. Old lady hand.
Yeah.
And all that. Like it's all not right. It's like at home I learned from my dad, and nothing's the right name.
It's like deep Irish language is for all of these words for like the fingering. You can kind of tell that like she has never once in her entire career cared about the orchestra, and is like as much as you are not telling her the right names or anything, she doesn't care as long as it looks convincing. And you continue to sort of teach her how to flourish and make it look like she knows what she's doing. Just give me a quick charisma and performance, since this is very specifically not like doing it properly.
All right, I would like to argue, do I get my specialty?
Yeah.
Do I get my violin specialty and my leadership specialty? That I'm friendly.
Yeah, let's say that your friendliness kind of breaks through a little bit.
I'm rolling. Oh no, I'm dropping dice. So many dice.
While this is all happening, I have to aside that Rachel and I have been messaging back and forth, and then all of a sudden,
went to everyone, and I was like, "Oh, everyone!"
The most important thing too.
oh boy!
It's just, when do we kill her?
5 successes.
All right. I'm gonna say that you guys spend some time at. We all know that Victorian clothes take like 2 hours to put on at
For
the
sure.
least. Yeah. So while Olive is gone and he's getting prepared for her quick change of the night, you actually convincingly teach Melinda. She is still a performer and is still able to pick up the moves properly. So you're convinced that she looks the part, and as long as she knows the song, may or may not be able to perform it well, or to fake perform it well. But Evelyn and Octavia, you are back up in sort of the main area of the party, and you can see again that it's sort of getting kind of ruckus, and the helper kind of walks away and leaves you to your devices again. What is it that the two of you wish to do?
Well, what would you like to do, Octavia? I did tell you about the troubling things I witnessed upstairs. Now, are we going to just ignore that, or are we going to wait till we get back to our station to properly investigate to ourselves?
I'm
or-
sure that Olive and Melinda would like to know a bit more about their uninvited guests. Or perhaps invited, I really don't know. They don't seem
Yeah,
to
who
want to
knows
give
with
me any
them.
information or be my friend. I'm a little hurt by that.
Not as much as me.
Rude.
I did have a feeling that this would happen now, and that's why I decided to leave them a bit of a... Well, I wouldn't call it blackmail, but perhaps that is what it is. I don't know. But you didn't hear what she said about the Harvey.
Yes,
Was-
please tell me.
Well, and I just fill her in on everything. She really just said that the Harvey was a piece of shit. So, yeah. But you don't do that. You don't do that. So I inform my dear Octavia on how the guests at the party had been gossiping about the Lees and how they're correct in assuming that people were questioning her eye for talent and all of these things. And then how she mentioned to me the Harpy is apparently a piece of shit. Now, you did not hear that from me. I did not say that. That comes from the mouth of our lovely host. And I don't think they would enjoy hearing that. So,
Of course. Definitely something we should remain tight-lipped about.
yes, one would not like that getting out, or at least one would think that would not be a good idea to let loose. So, I thought I would let them know that we know.
Both of you begin hearing just like murmurs of rumors going around the party. Like the most high school level of just like bullshit that's coming up. So I'm gonna need both of you to roll a wits and awareness to see just how much of this you can pick
See,
up.
and now I don't even know if I want to help her be cool. Like, maybe I'll just let people talk shit about her now. God.
Oh boy.
It's an awareness. Okay.
All right, that was 2 successes.
Nice.
3 for me.
Okay. So I will give you each one of these rumors. So one of you, let's say Evelyn, pick up that a rumor is spreading that apparently the Lees wanted to diablerize Imogen, but no longer because she's not worth it because of her low talent. And you, Octavia, hear a rumor that the Lees were apparently kicked out of Paris for this very reason. That
Of being shitty at their job?
yeah. Now, the level of sincerity or truth in these rumors is definitely up for question, but this is just some of the things that are going around the party now. And the lack of presence of the hosts at this point is becoming questionable.
Apparent? Yeah. Okay. Perhaps we should inform everyone of the good deed that you did, Evelyn, before we head outside as everyone waits for the performance.
Oh, of course. Please remind me what the good deed was. I don't usually do many of those.
Well, of course, bringing back poor Olive from that terrible state. And I say that a little bit loud.
Oh,
But not too loud.
of course.
I don't know what they would have
forgot.
done without you. Although perhaps we shouldn't tell anyone because we don't want any bad images to be impressioned on anyone. Let's keep it our little secret.
Oh, of course we wouldn't want to ruin their party any further.
Are you
Although
saying the
everyone
quiet
seems to be
part's
having a
loud?
lovely time.
Oh yeah, I'm intending to be
talking-
overheard, but I'm meaning for it to be like it is a secret so that it hopefully spreads.
Yes.
I'm gonna.
I
need-
don't want any attention brought to it. It's not like I did it for attention. I just thought it would be the right thing to do.
Honestly, I don't know where they would be without you, but that's neither here nor there.
Of course,
We
yes.
should announce that the performance will take place once again quite soon. Guests might want to gather somewhere, get their last beverages, if you will, before the event
Yes.
begins.
I'm gonna need both of you to roll manipulation and persuasion.
Convince crowd specialty?
Yes, this is very specifically your thing.
Manipulation and persuasion. Dang it! I don't have any persuasion. I have streetwise.
2 tens!
2 tens.
So I have
Ooh. I actually
6
got 2
successes.
tens too, and I only
Oh
rolled
my
3
God.
dice.
Wow.
So now I mean, saying that you shouldn't spread it in a kindred party is. I was gonna say like wildfire, but I think that's in bad taste for kindred.
Yeah.
The rumor begins to spread that Olive was brought out of torpor by a Nosferatu, which not a great
yeah.
look.
That's what you get. Should have been my friend.
And the question of why. I mean, it begins like, why is the Nosferatu even here?
Yeah, why am I here?
Somebody does make a joke about whose corpse they stole their dress off of, or their outfit off of, which is pretty on point.
I mean, they're not wrong.
I mean,
Uh,
I embrace who I am.
and just this weird rumor about this old Nosferatu helping Olive come out of torpor. Nobody looks good. The Nosferatu in this story, why they're here, and the fact that they would help a Toreador is weird, and the Toreador doesn't look good.
I think
as
I'm
to
gonna
why-
start. Can we have an out of character conversation of what people actually want to do? Because I don't want to royally fuck shit up for everybody. My next thing is I might start talking about how Melinda isn't as good as she seems to be. But if we want to have a chance at repairing relationships, maybe I won't do that.
I did blackmail them. They aren't aware of it yet, but I did.
Out of character.
I really
will-
wanted us to be friends.
Out of character, I will.
I think that time has passed.
I will remind all of you that your friend is left alone with the two of them, and you did see Melinda just like no sell lift her wife up and walk out of the room.
I small and delicate.
So
And tasty.
I very weak.
so you left a piece of
Delicious little
My,
morsel down
Turkish
there.
my
delight.
weapons are kindness and plants. Please
and,
do not make them kill me.
and Melinda specifically said that an eye is being kept on you. So I mean,
Yes, I mean,
scorched earth all you want. It's
Yeah.
up to you.
Emily really likes this character and does not want her to die yet.
Character art's also expensive, y'all.
Yes, yes. Okay,
think
maybe we
perhaps-
could
I
just
think
Worse things in death.
that's true.
perhaps we just try and solve this Inquisitor mystery.
Yeah, I think now
and
that we've spread
give
that
them
one
some
rumor,
information.
I think that's enough. Because I look bad, she looks bad. It's all bad.
All right. Yeah, let's do that. So, I know you mentioned you collected a sample.
Yes, I gave it to you, darling.
Oh! I'll like go get that. Shall we go outside? Perhaps a walk in the garden.
Yes, I think that would do very nicely. I want to make sure what I left in the shrubberies around is still there. Remember, I did drop the sword out the window.
And yeah, we go outside.
So we see the three of you just go out for a morning or an evening stroll, rather.
And I say as we're walking, I'm like, and if they are keeping an eye on us, perhaps they'll finally realize I was telling the truth after all.
Sure.
Very, very
That's what matters
astute
to
of
them.
you.
All right. So back down in the basement, we see Imogen and Melinda, who are kind of finishing up their mimicry training, and all of you return. Do you want to describe your new outfit? Because that seems fun.
Oh,
First, yes, yeah, oh, I will. But first, how convincing does she look? Faking it till she makes it.
You would know because you work with a lot of instrument performers that she's looking pretty good. It's like, it's a little played up and flourished, but it kind of helps cover up the fact that she's not actually playing properly.
Okay.
Melinda's put like kind of her own little flair on it. Like that famous YouTuber violinist.
Perfect. Yeah, I think this time I come out, it's later or early at this point probably.
Yeah.
So her hair is now down and it's big. The corset is like at least 2 inches tighter than it was before, for sure, on this dress. And the multiple layers of lace, kind of tear from front to back so you can see leg now. Yeah, and nice little, ankle Victorian boots to top it off. And she's like, well, let us not stand on ceremony. Imogen, how do you feel?
Well, you haven't taught me this song yet, but I feel
All right.
like Melinda's doing an absolutely fantastic job.
Imogen. My dear sweet Imogen, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Your friends, Octavia and Evelyn, and they, well, I just kind of pat you on the cheek and I'm like, never mind. We'll get to that in time. Come, do you think you can at least hum the tune to her?
Me?
Yes, darling, the singer.
I'm going to be honest, I haven't actually read your work. You were quite secretive about it. Plus, I need to
must get
prepare for the
upstairs
show.
to the party. I imagine they have maybe a piano down here.
Yes.
I imagine Olive would at least be able to pluck it out
Yeah.
on a piano.
You definitely did that thing that while you were playing it, you were like, or while you were writing it,
Yeah,
rather. You were
yeah.
playing
So
it.
like I maybe I try to teach Imogen by like playing with her, and trying to pluck it out for her. But before my dearest darling goes, darling,
Yes.
do me a favor. It seems that our humble guest seemed to make themselves at home upstairs. Would you go make sure nothing's out of place?
Of course. Definitely. And she sort of like kisses you on the cheek and like, again, kind of dropping the facade, Imogen just sort of like glares at you again and walks upstairs.
I like pat the piano bench for Imogen to come really close. I really hope she doesn't find anything upstairs.
I'm
And the
sure
melody.
Okay. All right.
And I guess Olive will do her best to like help Imogen learn the melody, or at least learn enough where maybe she can play with the music.
Yeah, I think what I'll do is you can play... I'll say do charisma and performance, Olive, just because you wrote the song, that it's easier
That's
for you.
true.
And
Hey,
this'll
that's not
actually,
so bad.
This will modify the difficulty for
Great.
Imogen to actually be able
That
to
sounds
learn
like
it.
a fantastic plan. High society, academics, things don't help me. Oh, that was such a bad roll. Why? Okay,
The song doesn't
well,
want to be played.
this song does not want to be freaking played. Okay, I'm gonna willpower that because I can reroll 3. Alright, here we go. Oh my gosh, only 2 successes. I'm clearly frustrated.
They
Clearly
really don't want this to happen. The dice are like, no.
They just like don't want this song to happen.
No.
This entire
Molly, yeah.
chapter was
Yeah.
based around this song. It just doesn't want to be played. Oh, all right. Okay, so I'm gonna let you, since you're not actually playing it right now, Imogen. let's call this a Whitsun performance, since I think picking up what's being played isn't really like, it's not intelligence. It's more like inert willpower. And
Yeah.
Cool. And then violin specialty.
come on, y'all.
Woo!
One day.
3 successes.
All right. You don't pick it up right away, but I'm going to say that
Okay.
if you guys spend more time down here practicing, you might be able to get it. But the party will become more ruckus upstairs as this is going on.
I'm going to be honest. I'm torn between helping you do this and saving this party.
Well, did you teach me more the tune, or did you teach me how to like pick notes out?
I imagine I like plucked the violin notes out, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Right?
It is more in line of how you learn Imogen, in that you like, it's like mimic, like hearing somebody do the
Yeah.
notes and mimicking it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop a proposition to the Toreador. Imogen learned specifically, like I mentioned, this comes up at some point. Imogen learned to play the fiddle doing like Irish folk music, and there's a part of you that knows that if you just lose a little bit of the classic vibe and put a little bit more folksy twang into it, she might be able to pick it up more. But it's up to you, like how much that will hurt your Toreador soul. Or lack thereof.
Yes, how much pride do I have left on this evening?
Yeah, I mean, that's up to you. You would give me just a flat intelligence and etiquette.
Okay. That could be worse. Oh, hey, I rolled a 4.
Here's the thing, because this party was like so open to not just the Camarilla elite, there's probably a lot of like Bruja and
Like lower clan.
yeah, who might actually kind of like the folksy music. So you might gain some rep, but not necessarily where you want it.
Tell me, this like ritual of this spell or whatever it is that I'm trying to like complete, this ability, right? That has been like written into this music.
Yeah.
How deeply rooted is it in this music, or is it more an intent?
I think it's specifically in the notes, but not necessarily the style and or the instrument even. You specifically became obsessed with Imogen and her violin playing, which is why you chose this medium. But
Okay.
you can modify everything except for how strictly the notes are laid out.
Okay. Oh, stop it. Stand up. Child,
Alright.
stand up.
All right.
Okay. Loosen up.
Okay.
Just sitting there, stick straight.
Tell me, close your eyes. Close your eyes.
Right. All right.
You know the notes, right? Yes. Breathing, which you don't actually have to do. Oh, fuck. Okay.
Should I still have my eyes closed?
Yes, just
Okay.
listen. Oh, that's actually a funny joke. Where you come from. Think about how you learned to play music. Okay.
Okay.
Now tell me why you like playing music.
Should my eyes still be closed for this?
Yes,
Okay.
just concentrate, child.
Well, my dad played the fiddle and the violin, and my mom played, oh shit, what did she play? Hold up, back up. Flute. She played the flute, and all of my younger siblings, they would drum, and we'd all play music together. And dance around, and it was a very fun time.
This song that I've written, it is also a fun time. I don't want you to look at the music. You know the notes, So pick up your little fiddle.
Can I open
Calm.
my eyes again, or no?
If it seems to if it helps you.
Okay. I can close them while I play. It's kind of weird to have a conversation and not see you.
The goal is to make you less nervous. I
right.
seem to be failing at that as well. So, here we go. Play how you play. As if your siblings were banging on drums or whatever it is you did.
Sure. I'll try my best.
All right. Give me...
She's so cute. I just want to pitch her cheeks.
Give me a charisma and performance with your proficiency again. And I will tell you now that the difficulty playing in your own style is a lot less difficult.
I'm still scared though.
Me too.
No.
4 successes.
That's better.
So as Imogen begins to play Olive, it's definitely like getting back into this style is sort of a challenge at first, but as a few missed notes in the beginning start to move away, you hear your notes begin to pick up more and connect, not necessarily the way that you hear it in your head, but a successful way. And as the song continues on, you feel that power in the song coming through, and you feel that again, the power is being done successfully. It is all entirely up to you as to whether or not this more sort of lively, folksy version is the version that you want to present. Because as disappointing as it is working.
How quaint. Well, Imogen, as I told you, I'm never wrong. You're a rather talented little bundle of optimism.
Thank you.
Come. I have an idea.
All right.
And I gesture for you to follow. As we walk, I'll scoop her arm. I'm gonna treat her very, preciously. Don't break the cargo we just got here, right? Okay. So I kind of pet your arm as we walk back up into the party. And I say, you're very unique, Imogen. Have you ever met others of your clan?
Is this okay to discuss? Would I know that? Question mark?
Basically all your aunt warned you is that there are people that are going to not like you, not like your kind, even within your kind. But I think it's something that Evelyn and Octavia try to impart on you, but it's up to you as to whether or not how naive Imogen is about it.
Emily is suspicious. Well, no, not really. No.
Must be lonely.
Well, not really. I've got Octavia and Evelyn and Prophet.
Do they understand your plight?
I'm sorry, I'm not sure I understand the question.
Imogen remembers back to Evelyn almost eating her as she tried to heal her.
Well, I have a feeling that your friends don't like me very much.
Well, you were kind of threatening. Or not you, but your wife was just a little bit, so I could understand that, I guess.
Don't know what you're talking about. We've been nothing but great hosts last time I checked, and considering the fact that I'm trying to save their reputations. I think they'd be a little kinder.
Sorry, I don't know if you've met Evelyn, but I don't know if she cares much about her reputation.
She's going to want to if she wants to be Harpy.
Would I know what that means?
Not a clue.
Yeah, I'm like, right. Mm-hmm.
My dearest Imogen, I'm going to be really honest with you. I don't actually mean any of you any harm. I don't have enough energy in my old age to worry about vendettas and vindictive bullshit. What I do want is more power, and more money, and more esteem. And there is no better way to get it than to ride on the coattails of young and stupid kindred.
I'm sorry, I don't know what the right response to that is.
It's all right, my dear Imogen. I think what I'm trying to say is your innocence is inspiring, especially this far into your second life. Do me a favor, would you?
Well, I'm already playing the song for you, but I'm sure maybe I could do something else.
I boop you on the nose. I remind you, that's not a favor.
All right.
Try to convince your friends that, well, I'm their friend. It will behoove all of you.
You know, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that that's what they were going for.
What they wanted was for me to tell them that what they did was so very special. And the fact of the matter is, anything they did, I could have done better. Unfortunately, I was laid out on the floor, thanks to, well, my miscalculation. You know, Imogen, I think you should play.
I was going to say it might be kind of strange if your wife played and it sounded so Irish and jig-like.
Do me a favor, child. Let's not call it a jig, I spent quite a long time writing that song.
Or thing?
I'm thinking a reveal. Something flashy. Something that'll get their blood roused, How do you feel about short skirts?
I don't know.
You know, just a stocking or two showing. Never hurt anyone. I show my stockings.
We could give it a try. Sure.
My dear Imogen, I like your opportunistic attitude and your positivity. You're like sunshine without all the burning.
Well, thank you very much. That's about the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
I promise you it'll be the nicest thing most kindred ever say to you. Come.
And as you walk off into your party, we see Evelyn, Octavia, and Prophet walking through the garden to find the Inquisitor's sword. As you approach the window that you remember throwing it out of, you see the bush sort of like crumbled and crushed. And as you walk past and see where the blade was, you no longer see it. Instead, you see a shriveled, rusted iron blade with all distinguishing features burned away, and acid burning away at the bush. And that's where we're gonna go on our break, because it's so hot. So we'll be right back.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Rocket your accessories to new heights with nerdy and gay Vancouver-based Rocket Man props. Their enamel and laser-cut wooden pins and waterproof coasters come in all your favorite franchises. Their enamel potion pins will make sure that you always have that health potion on you when you need it, and you're gonna need it. Worry not though, any order over $35 ships free to Canada and the US. Plus, if you use the promo code TIDDIES with double D's, you can get 20% off their store at rocketmanprops.com. That's rocketmanprops.com to save the day.
Create a sweet sweeter day in a traditional way with Wabanaki maple syrup. Long before sugar came with the fur trade, the indigenous peoples of the First Nations harvested the savory sap from the maple trees of Canada. The tales of this savory sap with a sweet and woody flavor traveled the world, and so came the name maple syrup. The tradition was passed from generation to generation, and as the maple moon rose each spring, the harvest of nature's rich tree sap began. Today, Wabanaki maple syrup has created a twist on a traditional culture with their signature line of barrel-aged maple syrup products of bourbon, whiskey, and toasted oak. Proudly 100% indigenous female-owned and located on Nugukuk Tobique First Nation, Wabanaki Maple is proud to introduce you to this tradition that's shared by many peoples of the Wabanaki Confederacy. Discover a piece of history and taste our land's cultural fabric in every bottle at wabanaki.com. That's WABANAKI maple.com.
We're back. Hello.
Yay.
I'm so happy, but also so scared.
So yes, as we left, Octavia and Evelyn had made their way to the outside of the house and had found the sword that Evelyn had left behind has been dissolved by acid and is now unrecognizable as an Inquisitor's sword.
How unrecognizable?
Like, very.
Can I roll at all?
There's weirdly no armory
Academics?
in this game made for modern knights.
Academics. Maybe if you might say it's occult-like.
Oh, I am a freaking sword person.
Yeah.
I don't know
That's
if I
true.
can
Maybe
do
you would be more
anything.
likely to recognize it than me.
I'll say let's go with intelligence and either academics or occult, which would only really tell you if it's an Inquisitor sword or not.
Okay, but if I do academics, I might get a bit more info
Yeah.
if I roll high enough. Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Only 110, but still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Nice.
Not terrible. That's pretty dang good.
Did you roll, Evelyn?
No, I didn't.
I mean, you
Because
know
all
what
of
it
those
was.
things that you asked me to roll, I was like, those suck. I'm not
I'm
gonna.
kidding. I'm sorry. Oh my god.
Podcast medium done as a cat.
That's the rest of the stream. Is vampire.
I heard little purrs in the microphone.
Oh no.
Baby.
Poor.
Thought I was muted. I feel even worse now.
No, it's good.
No, it's okay.
It's
better
okay.
imagine.
We love cat.
Yes.
Yeah. No, all of those things that you asked me to roll would have been awful.
That's
So
fair.
I didn't roll.
And you got 5 successes, Octavia?
Yes.
So you would recognize the make of this sword. It is dissolved beyond belief,
Yeah.
but you've definitely seen a sword like this in the past.
Okay.
And you recognize it enough as a Inquisitor blade, but you also acknowledge that like people who don't have experience with it, it'd basically be like showing them a bunch of dust and being like, "No, I
Yeah.
swear this was a
What was
person."
this?
Yeah. And then am I right in my assumption that this is definitely like corrosive vitae that did this? Or do
Doesn't
I?
appear to be.
Huh?
Doesn't
Ooh.
appear to be.
Oh.
Seems to be something else.
Okay, then I would like to make a roll about if I could tell what that is.
Sure, that one would definitely be intelligence and occult.
Okay, I have even more dice for that one.
Meanwhile, Evelyn's just like, I'm never giving anyone the benefit of the doubt ever again. I'm never speaking about anything, and I'm keeping everything to myself. This is so unbelievable.
I used
I'm
a
not
willpower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again.
5. Wow.
Thank you for the raid.
Another raid. Thank you.
Thank
Welcome. We're
you.
solving mysteries.
Hello.
It's corrosive vitae is a very like learned, meticulous spell that you have to learn, and it comes with a certain like arcane flavor to it. This is very natural. This is a
Oh, okay.
This isn't something that somebody cast. This is something that came out of someone.
Yeah.
It's very
Wait,
it's
came out of someone.
naturally. It's not a they didn't cast a spell to shoot it from them.
So they just have acidic blood normally.
There doesn't seem to be any blood mixed in with it.
Oh,
They just have acid.
that's
But the
fine.
way you're wording, it doesn't seem like acid was poured, like it's from a person.
There's like splatter. It's not like a meticulous
Okay.
careful
Yeah,
pouring.
yeah.
There's spread across all the bushes and stuff.
Okay. Wow. This is not something I'm used to seeing. And I, at first glance, thought it was something that someone like me could do, but this is different. But I do recognize this hilt. It is definitely, as you said.
Yes,
Not
but
that
nobody
anyone
else
will
would
believe us.
believe that it is what we say it is the problem.
Might as well leave it here, I guess.
Yes.
You also see next to it, off in the lawn a little bit, having been chucked, is a decimated body of the
Yes.
one of the people that you chucked out the window.
Oh yes, that's Archie. Don't mind him.
All right. If someone is covering their tracks, I look up at the window. Does the window still look, or I guess I wouldn't know, but it was jagged and bloodied. Can I see
I'd
from
look
this?
Up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll look up and see if it looks the same as I saw it.
There is still blood, and you see viscera kind of hanging off the edge. And now that you're on this side of the window, you actually can see sort of a trail leading away down the bushes, away from the window.
Well, didn't see that from up here, that's for sure.
They didn't cover their tracks very well.
No, the gentleman I found in there who was still alive did mention they took a nasty chunk out of them. So,
And while we're out here, I'll take a quick look. Is anybody I don't even care. I'm just gonna taste the fucking vial. Watch me if you want to watch me.
technically it's not a vial, it's a sheet drenched in blood.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will wring it onto my tongue.
Yes. I did not have a vial on my person.
Are you using a taste
to
for
rip
blood?
the guest bedroom
Yes.
bed sheets to get this done.
Then give me a resolve and blood sorcery.
I rarely roll this. What am I rolling?
Meanwhile, I gotta
Okay.
look up resonance because that's an aspect of this spell.
Mm.
I'm so distracted by this cute little baby.
That's a crit.
Yeah.
It's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
wow. All right. So let us look at a taste for blood. The user dabs the blood of the tongue, blah, blah. With a win, the user can determine the resonance and intensity of the blood if human. This is definitely human, and it has a choleric resonance, which is anger, violence, bullying, passion, and envious. And I'll say with that, you actually get sort of the last remnants of existence for the owner of this blood. You get this intense, determination coming from the blood, but filled with sort of an underlying anger and revenge, and a sudden burst of fear and pain, and then nothing.
I'm writing notes.
Meanwhile, you're having this experience, and I'm just like, well, did it tell you anything?
Well, it was a human, so it's just all the dots are continuing to tell your story, Evelyn. It was revenge motivated, which is not typical of the Inquisition, although they all have their reasons for joining. Very, very interesting. But their life ended in fear.
Oh, their life ended, you say. Perhaps they bled out somewhere.
I searched the bush.
Yeah.
Both of you can do me a the intelligence and investigation, or wits and investigation rather.
Wits and investigation.
Another dice for me. Ooh, that's nice. I did a 1, 2, 3 successes, but 2 of them were 10s.
Nice. So
One.
that's 5 successes.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Octavia, you're a little bit caught up as the resonance is sort of like still lingering with you, you get sort of that like feeling of fear, and almost that like sense of like you shouldn't be here right now. Did I say Evelyn or Octavia? Octavia got that. Evelyn,
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
Okay. Evelyn, you sort of follow this trail of blood that's leading through the bushes, and it leads towards the garden in the back of the house. And so you sort of like search through the dirt as you go. Prophet's helping you because Prophet's specifically good at this.
Yes.
And you find a large rose bush. And as you approach it, you can smell just vitae lingering in the air. And you notice sort of shoved underneath this rose bush is a body stripped of any outer clothing and is just completely, it's a male body covered in blood, sort of in their undergarments. And you see just massive claw,
Yes.
raked across their chest.
Well, I see we found what we thought we would find. There's nothing around, no belongings of any sort, just everything is stripped from this body?
Yeah.
Okay, fun.
As you approach, you notice that in addition to the slash across their chest, you see their throat has been slit.
Oh. Well, that's okay, interesting. That would have happened after the fact because the gentleman I helped would have done the slashing, the claw marks. Okay, well, is Octavia with me or did she stay behind?
I mean, that's up to Octavia.
Yeah.
I'm just in a totally other bush.
Oh, okay.
But still nearby, but like I've clearly
I
have no
call
idea
you
what I'm
over.
looking for.
I call you over, Octavia. I've found what we were looking for.
And?
Over here. Well, there seems to be no possessions left to investigate. He has been stripped of everything, including his clothing. But there is a body if you want to take a gander.
I'll feel this person. I guess I'll examine the throat wound.
Yes.
Sure.
Like that one there would be new. I was not made aware of that one.
Yeah, so you're given like once over on the face and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the vitae that you smell is reminiscent of what you had just tasted.
Right. Okay. I do know that when they come, it's for a very, very specific purpose. The fact they clearly didn't want us finding them, and
No.
very difficult our job right now. But difficulty has not stopped us before. I do believe we should get back quickly, but I am very curious about this letter from the prince.
Yes, I, by the way, did tell her about that while we were talking about
Good.
all of the
Yeah.
blackmail. I assumed that I told her that I snuck my little hands into the desk and took a little bit of something there. But yes.
Perhaps we can get a gleam of what our prince's feelings are for the Lees.
By all means, yes.
And I'll hold it.
I pass it over to her.
Yes, and as she passes it, I'll hold it
I also look
tightly.
around and make sure we're not being watched currently while this is happening. As I kind of stealthily pass her in the bushes. Just, there you go. As I look around.
You look around and you look towards the house, which is still like, you see like silhouettes of housegoers through the curtains. And you see on the top floor, standing in a window, sort of silhouetted, is one of the Lee's servants, just watching you.
Well, I'll just, I assume I'm hiding my hand enough that, or at least I attempt to, that I will not be seen that I am passing a letter that would look like anything.
Yeah, I don't think
important.
at this distance there's no way that
Yeah.
you can tell.
And I will just say, let us be careful. We are being watched. But of course, we all assumed we would be.
Yes.
They're not making any attempt to not look at you.
Not that this would be news to anyone.
I'll like crow. Well, am I in a bush?
Like you're next to the bush. The
Yeah.
body has sort of been like shoved as much as it can under the bush.
Okay. I'll go to Scritch Prophet by the ears and give him a nice pet. But in my other hand, clutching it close to my chest, is the prince's letter. And I would like to try and gain any sort of insight into his... Is the prince a he or she or they? Do I know?
I think you would.
I imagine I would, because we all introduce ourselves to them.
Yeah. It is he, they.
He, they. Okay.
Very, 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 very old is the prince.
I will try and gather as much information as I can about their opinions of the Lees. Via either, just whatever you would want me to roll, or I could use premonition and try and see the future while holding this item.
Sure. Yeah, I would say premonition.
Okay. Resolve and aspects.
Give me a rouse as well,
Ooh.
since you're very specifically like trying to focus on this.
I pass.
Okay. Sitting there hanging over that button.
Sorry, Nora, not tonight. At least for now. I rolled so bad, I'm going to burn a willpower. Still not good. 3.
You focus on this for a while, and you try to gauge the intent behind the letter. And the vision that you get is very like dense and seems hard to like penetrate through the intent.
Yeah.
Crap. The thing that you know is that the Keeper of Elysium was very adamant about trying their best to prove that this place would make a good Elysium. And the Keeper was specifically sent by the prince. So whatever the prince feels about the Lees, they sent someone who was very intent on making this place the new Elysium and having enough reason to do so.
And I gave them that reason. You're welcome. Okay. I'll share those thoughts with Evelyn. Is it seeming like the party's like we should head in?
Yeah, you actually hear, I was just going to have someone on the veranda now very loudly shouting that apparently another performance is going to be had, and it's bound to be hilarious.
Was that Snyder? Do I recognize the voice?
Sydney.
It is not Sydney, unfortunately. Just a rowdy-looking party goer.
Okay.
All right.
Well, shall we?
Indeed. And I'll link arms with Evelyn as we wander in.
It's ought to be a very good show.
And we will return to Imogen and Olive, who are making their way through the party. You can indeed see now, like, the living area is just, like, littered with unconscious humans who have had their fill, either imbibing in liquor or being imbibed upon. They're out now. And several of the party goers are now just, like, lively and hectic, and rumor has indeed spread that another performance is going to happen.
Do we hear people talking about Evelyn bringing back Olive?
Well, Olive specifically hears this rumor.
Oh no.
Wonderful.
And you
Well, I'm
see
just going to pretend we didn't start that.
sort of like still remaining the bright shining beacon of party and like waving at people and stuff as she comes towards you. Melinda approaches you, Olive, and kind of like whispers in your ear, "It is done," and then smiles and waves at somebody. We are in the plea.
I appropriately kiss her on the cheeks, and maybe even give her a spin out to, like, you know, make her the belle of the ball. And then I turn. Now, I imagine maybe I've, like, if Imogen would allow, Olive would have, like, rouged your cheeks a little bit, and, like, maybe given you I don't know how much hair you have, but, like, an updo, something that's bigger, you know, and yeah, and I you know, I'm like, darling, we must talk. I have decided that maybe you sit this one out. I have a feeling that our dear Imogen is going to step up to the occasion.
Melinda, who's like pretending to like be paying attention to other people and like still being the host and stuff, says, whatever you think is best, my dear. I trust you. I will have you know that if something were to go wrong, I'm quite peckish. And kind of like looks at you, Imogen.
Oh, darling. Don't fret, me too. And I you know, pat her and I say, well, it's time to make amends. And I'll, like, pick up a glass and ting, ting, ting. You know, like with a tiny fork, which is ridiculous because they're not eating anything, but it's there because they're Toreador. And I ting, ting, ting this glass, and I try to get as many people's attention as I can.
Everybody sort of like stops what they're doing and looks towards you.
While this is happening, I would like to find a place to hide myself near wherever Imogen would be backstage or on. Like, so I would be backstage, and if anything goes wrong, I want to be available to snatch her up and whisk her away to safety. I'm Batman.
Give me a Dex and Stealth.
Alrighty, let me find.
Come on, Evelyn.
I mean, I'm sure this one will go fine.
As
the one.
I feel like we would have
Got to.
sort of talked about that, and as Evelyn is going away, I will loudly speak to the crowd. Of course, if you do enjoy Imogen's performance, you can always catch her at the Investigators of the Occult and Unusual shop. We have very many talents over there. Do come see me and take a card if you wish after the performance.
Octavia just fully interrupted.
To hopefully give Evelyn a bit of a bump.
Don't you worry, I got 6 successes, 2 crits. So
Ooh, boy.
we are golden.
You're in a different
I
chronicle
didn't even
right
need
now.
to do anything.
Yeah.
I'm just gone. That was yeah. And then once I get backstage, I would like to activate Cloak of Shadows.
All right, sounds good. So you are literally not detectable. Melinda just sort of like brushes away, like miming brushing Octavia away as she gives you the floor again.
My esteemed guests, tonight was a test to see who was worthy for the real performance. I know that my pearl-clutching antics might have left some of you in a fret, and the rumors have already started that I was less than myself. But I assure you, I'm perfectly fine, and I have quite a treat for you. We're going to try it all over again, but how it was meant to be played. From the heart.
There's a few chuckles from the crowd.
I'd say give a round of applause, but we've already done that once tonight. So instead, Imogen, give us your best jig.
Alrighty then.
I put the cotton in my ears.
Are you going?
Yeah, I still have mine, so I do that too.
By the way, you're in the entry space right now. Are you going to the music room, or are you gonna have the performance?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna like flourish, like I'm talking and walking and like gathering people. That's
Everyone's
kind of the
following
goal,
you.
right? Yeah, yeah.
It's like World War Z, just everyone
Yeah, exactly. And as we're going, I'm like, oh, please stop talking about X, Y, and Z. You know it's not until... That was so last season. And she's like passing through, like quelching rumors, like as she goes. That's kind of her goal.
Give me a charisma and manipulate.
Persuasion?
Yeah, sure. That sounds good.
Okay, that's better. You know what? No,
manipulate's also an attribute, so I was wrong. Charisma and persuasion.
Yeah.
Let's do Okay, I'm gonna rouse and add some die to this. This is important. Dang it. I am forever hungry. I'm so sorry, Imogen. I'm so sorry. God. Praising charisma to... Oh my gosh, it's not rolling well. Okay, so I rolled 3 on that.
Okay. I think
Trying real hard.
a few of the more susceptible people kind of like move away from you as their rumors sort of die down. But I think some of the more persuasive or the more persistent people kind of stick with it. But nevertheless, you all are led to the music room. Evelyn is just a fucking ghost in the background. And Melinda this time, rather than sort of like sitting in the or standing in the crowd with everybody else, is going to specifically stand not too far away from Imogen and sort of like poised. Imagine there's like columns in this room, because there's got to be fucking columns in a music room.
For sure.
And is sort of like poised, still very like eloquently, but like clearly just eyeing Imogen. And the golden music stand is still there. And one of your servants comes forward, having snatched the music from the previous event, and hands it to you, Olive.
Imogen, would you do us the honors?
Sure thing.
So you're specifically playing it as a folk jig, right?
Yeah, I'll play it how I'm comfy playing it.
All right. Oliver, are you doing anything this time to sort of like prep the crowd?
Yeah, you know what? I will. I imagine it's like sheets are being stacked and things are being broken out. Olive simply says, when I wrote this song, it was a song of passion. And being as young as I am, classical music is my flavor. And I gesture, obviously, to my wife, who is like an opera singer and a classical singer. And but I realize that to truly let go of your art, as a great artist does, you must allow the other artist to imbue a piece of themselves into it.
I'll give you an extra dice for the hype, and we're going to do charisma and performance this time, because it is, as she said, coming from the heart. You can rouse your blood if
I'm aroused. I rolled a 10.
Ah, nice. Yeah. Also still hovering over that button.
All right, so hold up. Charisma. I got to count out some dice here.
So we're going to call this...
So many clickety-clacks.
Because the rumors weren't all quelled, but because you hyped, I'm going to say that those two difficulties cancel each other out. I'm going to call... I think because you're playing this... It's from the heart, and because you got practice, I'm going to call this a difficulty of 4.
Oh, okay.
Which,
charisma,
you say now, but we have not done that.
We haven't rolled yet.
Charisma, performance, specialty, and you said I got an extra dice for the hype?
From the hype, yeah.
Plus 2 more for...
From Rouse the Blood.
Rousing.
From the rouse, yeah.
You... Absolutely something has to go wrong for you to not succeed this.
Fuck.
I'm rolling 10 dice.
Yeah.
So
remember when I said that last time? I said I was rolling 8 dice and I literally bestial failed.
I saved all of my willpower left for this.
Okay, fair. Very, very fair. We should be fine.
7 successes.
Jesus.
All right. Yeah.
Exhale.
All right. So with everybody primed and ready, Evelyn out in the back, Melinda just
I don't need to worry.
sharpening her nails. The crowd sort of still with a lingering sense of disappointment and rumor. Imogen picks up the violin, not even needing to read the sheet music. It's mostly for show at this point. You tap into that feeling of playing with your family. Your brother's hitting the drums, your mom playing the flute, and your dad playing lead fiddle with you. And you begin to play this music. And as each note comes out, they sort of piece together this greater power. And all of the presence from Olive mixed with your whimsical flavor successfully cast a spell on the audience. I'm gonna need. You said you put in your.
Yes.
I did, yes.
Did
Yeah.
both of you do it?
Yeah, I did backstage before when I realized I was going backstage, I was like, okay.
I'm gonna
cast
need
in the shadows.
I'm gonna need both of you to still roll willpower though, but the difficulty is much lower at this point.
Okay.
Okay. Good thing I got some of that back.
I spent 2 this episode.
Oh my goodness. I
Do I have
passed
to
all
roll?
of those.
You don't have to roll, Imogen.
Okay, cool.
Out of my
4.
3 dice, I'm all good.
Okay.
4
I
for
only have 3
me.
dice, so I hope the difficulty was 3.
So you watch the crowd, who's been up until this point very rowdy and very ruckus. And as the music plays, you feel the power hitting you, even through the muffled earplugs, but are able to retain your composure. But it is very beautiful and very full of heart. And you see several members of the audience begin to cry blood as everybody just is dead silent at this point. And Olive, you know that you have successfully found somebody to play this music, successfully played this magnum opus of yours, and if needed in the future, you have confidence that this would work on any of the audience members in your theater.
I start the applause when it's all done to rouse the crowd.
Everybody just cheering.
Yeah, I join in.
And Octavia, you are pulled back to that vision you had earlier of Imogen playing this beautiful music and everybody in the crowd cheering for you. And Imogen, you stand there, a wall-packed music room of all of these kindred cheering for you.
I do a little curtsy.
Now, for those of you who maintain the willpower to stay standing, and I gesture to all the other that is did not make it till the end of the night, you had the great joy of the true gift that I have given you all this evening. Imogen, you have a permanent place on our stage. If you would like to perform, of course. And your coterie has a permanent box house seat. Upper mezzanine. It seems only fitting. It's a perfect place to gather information.
Thank you so much. That's absolutely amazing. Thank you.
As for a more personal gift, I'll be sending it direct to your haven. I suggest you go see your adoring fans.
Thank you again.
Oh, choose a violin on your way out. Anyone you'd like.
Oh, sure. Thank you.
And then I'm like, okay, I'm done with that now.
Yeah.
Right? Because she's a Toreador. Done with that.
Did it.
And yeah, now party.
Yeah. There's not much time left, but the rest of the party is well enjoyed. And everybody leaves, except for the humans who passed out on the couch. They're going to probably wake up at some point throughout the day, either hungover or just really needing some Gatorade. And
Ye old Gatorade.
ye old Gatorade.
And Gatorade. Before they... Oh, yeah, go ahead.
No, go for it.
I was just gonna say, if all of you go to leave, Olive would stop the three of you. If you make yourself known, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I think I sneak back out into the main hall eventually to meet up with my coterie.
Nice.
Well,
yeah. Indeed. Sometimes all you need is a second chance. Speaking of second chances, I look forward to our business arrangement. But from what I can tell, all of you seem to be dabbling in mortal affairs. You're now an investment, and I want to make sure you stay around. I'm going to be sending someone to your haven to gift you a few rituals. Something to keep it safe from mortal touch.
Thank you very, very much. I did hope to speak with you before we left. Things may have gotten a little heated in our previous encounter, but I was very genuine in what I said, and I do hold fast to the offer that I gave. And I'm trying to be warm.
Yes, genuine, which is so funny. Yeah, she says, well, I don't even know what you're talking about. All I heard was polite conversation. I know you're in the market.
Shit.
Oh, no.
What's-
I know you're in the market for rare things.
Indeed I am.
I will keep a lookout for such items. I do not currently own any myself, but if it keeps you all on the path, then it is worth it.
And we are always only a braille letter away, or whatever means you wish to communicate with us.
Yes, I'm most to the last of the guests.
Of course.
It has been an interesting evening with all of you. Imogen, you're welcome to the music if you would like.
Oh, thank you. Sure.
And I guess I should say thank you for trying again.
Oh, well, thank you for the opportunity. And I give her a hug.
Oh, that's very quaint.
yes, she does that a lot.
Well, how wonderful. I imagine your fans are going to really, really love you. Until the next time.
I do a nice little curtsy and make sure Prophet does a nice little nod, and we'll be on our way when the coterie is ready to go.
I also curtsy, but also I'm in pants, so it's very grandiose, but slightly. You can tell I'm being a little sarcastic and coy with it, but that is just my way, as it has been all evening.
And the coterie gracefully leaves and heads off into the night. Another carriage brings you back to your haven. While you rest, or when you get up the next night, indeed somebody comes and casts a ritual on your haven that will protect it from, or increase its protection against Kine. This, of course, being your gift from the Patreon that people voted on, whether you would get a gift or a curse.
Yay!
Thank you for not giving us bad things.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And we're going to end off once more with Olive and Melinda having pushed everybody out of their house gracefully and settling in for the day. Melinda goes to the desk sitting in their master bedroom, picks up a note just out of eyesight of Olive. And would you kindly read that letter again?
Yeah, if I can find the page I put it on. Give me a second. Where did I put it? Hold on, there it is. Olive, it does seem as if things did not go as planned for you tonight. People have started talking about your eye for talent. Not the best impression for one in charge of the theater. And all that talk about the harpy. Rumors spread like the plague, and the rats in the sewers know a thing or two about spreading plagues. If you wish to talk more, you know where to find me. E.
Melinda is sort of going to chuckle to herself, look to you, Olive, fold up the note and say, perhaps another night then, and puts the note in the desk without letting you read it. Because it might just kill you.
Yes, perhaps another night, dear.
And that's where we're going to end off for tonight. Yay! We did it.
Oof. Housekeeping. Or is there anything else?
Oh, I was going to say that given that this was a very emotional chapter, I'm going to reward, let's say, 18 blood points. For this one.
Love it.
And just 1,000,000 for Dot. So, when you come back, you're just going to be much more powerful.
Give me all the power.
Now you can do housekeeping, Emily.
Okay, housekeeping. The easiest way to support Tabletop Tiddies is to become a patron at patreon.com/Tabletop Tiddies. And a shout out to our Patreon producer, Blunderbuss Hornswoggle. Thank you for that.
That name.
If you want to check out all of our merch, you can head to tabletoptiddies.threadless.com. And remember to check out our Pride collection, as all profits from that go to Community, a Vancouver-based nonprofit that works to improve queer, trans, and two-spirit lives. Make sure to come back on Tuesday for Into the Revelia, our Dungeons & Dragons campaign. Follow us on social media at Tabletop Tiddies, and remember to tweet using hashtag TTTiddies, and we just might name it NPC after you. Our Indiegogo shout out today goes to, I didn't have this one open. I was so prepared and then I wasn't. I opened the wrong folder. Katie, hold up, I got it. Making it entertaining for the live stream.
Make it till you make it.
That's right.
Emily Oswald, thank you so much for donating to
we
our
got there.
Season 2 Indiegogo.
Yay! Ooh.
All of this information can be found on our website, which is www.tabletoptiddies.com. And every time I'm saying titties, it's with double D's.
Yeah.
And before we go, do you want to plug anything? Where can people find you?
Yeah. I'm a person out there rolling dice and telling stories with cool people just like this. So find me at Little Red Dot on your table, like your social media platform of choice. Right now, I'm Twitch producing for Kobold Press, so you can find me over there quite frequently. And then the rest of the time, I'm working hard on my own VTM project called Stitch of Fate. You can come check it out.
Yeah.
Y'all thought I was sassy here.